Difficult emotions and root causes. I love what Gabor Mate said. Don't ask why the addiction, ask why the pain. Because addiction, as most of us know, numbs the deeper stuff. I've become comfortably numb. Like the Pink Floyd song. I think that song's about heroin. Alcohol, I'm the life of the party. Speed, I get more done. Fear, trauma, loneliness, shame, all that just kind of goes away, doesn't it? Yeah, it's so great until we're homeless or living on the street. We can't quit on our own. You look back and you're thinking, gee, I would have rather just dealt with those emotions than be living like this. Codependency, low self esteem. For me, dyslexia was huge. I'm dyslexic, and at a young age, I had teachers say, she's stupid, she'll never amount to anything. I would drink and all that would go away because I was funny and smart and witty. So I thought it really was kind of funny. I mean, I did have people laughing, right? But so once we get sober, we're going to have to embrace and accept being uncomfortable in our skin. Does it ever fully go away? Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't always for me, but it's okay. It's okay. Because from this place of uncomfortableness is where we can start to see what's happening, to work on what we need to face so that we can live life on life's terms, as they say. And recognizing this pattern is so, so wonderful to finally see it. When I felt rejection, I wanted to escape. Maybe that's what it is. For me, with the dyslexia, feeling stupid, one of the things I could never get was math. And my dad used to teach math. And he meant well, but he'd stand over me or, sit there and I don't know why you can't get this. I don't know why you can't understand this. And so this thing with male authority figures was so triggering when bosses would come in and they would just ask me questions. I would blank out, shut down, turn red, all of this stuff because I felt like it was a setup. I felt like everything was a setup to point out how dumb I was. And yeah, there's going to be some people that will see that and they'll take advantage of that, and you need to be aware of that. But for the most part, they were just trying to, find something out, or show me something. Recovery means to deal with all that, work through all that. Now I don't have that anymore. I can see, super important men, right? And be like, hey, they put their pants on one leg at a time, and I don't feel less than. One of the things I heard a lot too growing up, and a lot of parents do it, don't feel that way. Stop feeling that way. We don't know why you feel that way. Your father and I don't know why you feel that way. This is called emotional invalidation. It's super, super, super horrible, dangerous, causes all kinds of problems. We stuff our emotions from a young age. It teaches women to ignore our instincts. Oh my word, so that when we're around harmful people, we tell ourselves, oh, it's nothing. A lot of times, we get sober and there's all kinds of other trauma from living that life, from being drunk and, taken advantage of, being abused, whatever it is. So once we can start to connect all these dots, because a lot of times if there was the emotional stuffing, it started really, really, really early. So we're running, we're being triggered, we're using, we're drinking. We don't even know why. We don't even know what's happening. Completely disconnected from ourself. And so it's coming back to ourself. That's really what recovery is. Coming back to the little kid, the inner child, God, who am I? Who did you create me to be? Because once we understand what's happening emotionally, what's causing this trigger, we can work through it, deal with it, fight against it. So some of the things to watch for too, the whole HALT, which is hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Or am I hangry? I like that one. Those are things that weaken us. Shame is a big one. Now, Jesus said, I did not come for the healthy. I came for the sick. That was the reason of the first coming. He died for you. He died to fulfill the Old Testament penalty for sin. He was the sacrifice. So let that sink in. People say, oh, Jesus did away with it. No, he didn't do away with the law. He became it, and he was the ultimate sacrifice. So is he going to now go, oh, I'm ashamed of you? Bearing the shame, he went to the cross. Isaiah tells us that he came to proclaim the good news to the poor. He sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives, to release from darkness for prisoners, to comfort all who mourn, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, the garment of praise instead of the spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness. That's you, friends. The minute that you accept Christ. He says in Colossians, I have transferred you from the kingdom of darkness to the kingdom of heaven. It's immediate. This life isn't. You're still going to go through all the junk as you work through it, but you're being sanctified in the process. Okay. The other huge one here with triggers is surrender and serenity. I got a whole bunch of videos on how to live the serenity prayer. What is it? What does it mean? Because a lot of some of the roots of addiction are the things that we can't control that we're trying to, right? God grant me the serenity to accept what I can't change, the courage to change what I can, and then the wisdom to know the difference, because knowing the difference is a key piece. So much of our anxiety comes from that. I've told this story many times. I remember literally being in the shower and feeling like God was saying, you spend so much time trying to control what you can't, that you miss the opportunity to control what you can. And so with addiction, a lot of times the drinking or whatever is a replacement for what we lack the courage to do, right? I can't fix that, my boss hates me, so I'm going to go home. I'm going to drink. Now I'm in control. I'm doing something about the situation, but really I'm too scared to talk to him, so I'm going to drink instead. See, this is where the courage to change what we can, and then what's the difference? God, what's yours? What's mine? And when we can separate that out, it can really help with the anxiety and stuff. You just have to think about it there's nothing I can do. But if there is something I can do, Lord, show me what it is. And then the rest, I'm going to give to you. You are not alone. God's strength is made perfect in your weakness.